Good morning. I'm going to go out for coffee this morning, but I figured I'd jump on here to tell you a little bit about my progress on working on forming new emotional habits. So every morning I have to take this capsule, and when I got them at Publix, they were a decent size, but then I got some at CVS. Oh my gosh, they're so much bigger. Well, oh hey, Lisa. So, since I had the endoscopy and they stretched my esophagus, it's a lot, easier to swallow. Because I'm one of those people who, when I get nervous, it gets harder to swallow. It's like, and also, I've had sort of like, allergy kind of things my whole life, just sort of, general hay fever type allergies. So a lot of times I'll have a postnasal drip, so my throat is sensitive. And then, with feeling a lot of things in my throat. And then if I get nervous, I become hypersensitive. So it's been hard to swallow pills, and I've learned to chew anything. And that, I can get past the taste, because I'd rather taste a horrible taste than choke or, be afraid of choking. Because, it's one of those awful things that if you're afraid of something, like if you're worried about choking, you kind of tighten up. It's more likely you're going to choke. Anyway, I've never choked on a pill, by the way, even, when I've swallowed them whole. But I had these great big capsules. And usually I keep a little drink in the fridge, so in the morning, I've got something cold to drink. Well, this morning I had forgotten to fill up the glass, so I just quick filled it up at the sink, 'cause I'd already tossed the capsule in my mouth, and, I didn't want it to start getting sticky, have that sort of gelatin coating on the capsule get sticky. So I had sort of, not cold water. Anyway, so I just put a little in the glass, knocked it back, and the capsule stopped part way. Well, this is where, I've been practicing in general, not having like a kind of reaction to certain things. So normally I might, really sort of panic. But what I did is I stopped and I thought, okay, let me just kind of feel where this is. All right. And then I drank some more water and it went down. Now, my usual reaction would have been to panic and start, trying to cough it up and just kind of not being real aware, but I stopped and I engaged my thinking. You know what? This is kind of, well, all right, how when a lot of people, if a bee comes near them, their reaction is, oh, a bee, and they'll run and they'll wave their arms around and everything. So that's sort of the equivalent of how I would react, if that capsule got stuck in my throat, how I would have reacted. If you liken it to the bee situation, it would be like if a bee is flying around. And this is usually what I do with a bee, actually. If it's flying around, it's just kind of buzzing around, I just wait and see what it's going to do. And here's the difference in the two reactions. So, the panic reaction, you're just sort of, or I'm just sort of running blind, I could, who knows, I could trip over something and fall and hurt myself or bump into somebody, or it's kind of like, if you're in my way, get out of the way, I'm running away from the bee. Compared to, okay, what's the bee doing? It may just be, how bees will fly around and then they'll fly away, usually. And I'm not allergic to bee stings, so, I don't have to worry about that. So this morning, instead of, I stopped and I brought it to a thinking level. And it was just really blessed me that I was able to do that, because when you're panicking and you're totally reacting out of your emotions, you can also miss a lot of important things. I was thinking about it, if the house had suddenly burst on fire and I felt like I was choking on something, I don't mean really choking, I mean something was stuck, okay? I probably would be so concerned with that I wouldn't be able to notice possibly the more important issue, that the house is on fire. But I'm learning to stop and calm down and think. And I'll just share this one extra little thing. As I get older, I find that I get into my emotions much more rapidly. For example, if I get nervous about something, and somebody, needs to know my address and phone number, sometimes it's like I can't remember them because I'm like all, tensed up and nervous. I know this happens to people who are younger too, but this kind of thing never used to happen to me. I was always the type of person that was very calm in an emergency, and now, not so much. I don't know if it's something that comes with age or what, but anyway, I am working to get back into being calm. The interesting thing is, though, being calm yet still being responsive to the situation and the people, still being caring and compassionate rather than just being almost legalistic, like, okay, we need to do this. That's more like how I was when I was younger. Now, I don't know what it is, but I'm able to be responsive to the situation and not, I'm getting better at not getting into my emotions so quickly, yet the part of sort of feeling for the situation, being emotional in a constructive way and a compassionate way in the situation is getting kind of merged with the ability to, these are the things that need to be done. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't know, maybe it's just a kind of maturity that's finally happening. I mean, heck, I'm 68. It had to happen sometime, I hope. Anyway, so, I just wanted to encourage you that if you're working on forming good habits too, and not just things that you do, but ways that you think and how your emotions kick in, I encourage you. Seems to be working for me. And remember, this is just the same thing I talk about with other kinds of things, stop, challenge, choose, or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, bringing yourself from the emotional part in the back of your brain to awakening your prefrontal cortex, the thinking part, and going, maybe I have a choice in this situation. Okay, I'm going to go out and get my coffee now, and then I'm going to the Thanksgiving dinner at the pre-K4 at my granddaughter's school. I'm looking forward to that.